No matter how far gone you are, you can always come back, and we'll embrace you with open arms. I sin just like everyone else. Everyone who comes to church are sinners. And so just making that known, because sometimes it can be a little scary to confess your sins to your fellow brothers. You think they're going to judge you, but they're there to love on you and help you. And I think showing that love, showing that, brother, I'm struggling with the same thing as you. Let's link arms. Let's march forward together. Iron sharpening iron.
Welcome to the Beyond Sunday podcast. Today's guest is a filmmaker, businessman, triathlete. What is that we said?
Endurance athlete.
Endurance athlete. My brother in Christ, Nick Amp.
What's
there
up?
We go, bro.
Awesome. Let's go.
Hey, man. So today's the first day I ever met you. You seem like you have had an interesting life for only being 24 years old. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
So let's get into, I know you do media work with your filmmaking and stuff. I would like to get into that. You also do some stuff in your church. What was it that you said you did?
I've taught, I've delivered lessons, served, prayers, everything that you can get your hands on in the church. I volunteer and I do it.
Perfect. And I want to get into that, your journey with Christ, how you found it for yourself. And stuff like that, man. So let's go into, you're 24 years old. Let's go into like your high school life. I just want to touch on that real quick since it's pretty fresh for you. How was that like, you growing up? Did you grow up in a Christian home? Like, how was that?
No, I grew up in a very secular home. I didn't know Christ till I was 19 years old. Didn't know anything about it. Knew nothing. It was just going through life and doing what looks good, what feels good, and following the way of the world.
Wow. So your parents aren't religious?
No, my parents are not religious. They grew up in the church.
Mm-hmm.
They're from an older generation, so more than likely their parents had them go to church. Both parents were either at the Catholic school. Dad went to the Christian school. He went on his own, he told me. He said he went on by his own with some friends because his parents never took him. So they knew God, they knew the Spirit, they knew all about it, but I think once they got to high school, they both just didn't go anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so I never knew anything about it. I was baptized in the Catholic Church, but I think that was just more of a traditional thing. I don't know if that was them actually being believers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they were, but just they had their own understanding of it. And so I never knew anything about it. I always did find the Christians really nice, but I never hung out with them, got along with them. But parents taught me a lot about what's doing right, doing bad. Obviously, it's not the same as knowing Christ. So I just lived a very secular, worldly life. What's the word? Followed what was the cool trends, all those kids that wanted to be cool and all the kids that wanted to look good in front of others and glorify their name and not glorify God's. That was me. It was always glorifying myself. And yeah, I did care about others and I wanted to help others with me, but there's always that sense of I want to look good.
So what brought you to the faith then?
Yeah, no, that's a very good question. So I was in college. I was very secular life still. Turned 19 going into that summer, so I was going to my second year of college. Was in a place where people didn't like who I was. And they tried to get me to go, but I just said, nope, you're not going to force me to go. Like, I went the opposite way because they said, you need to go. And they came from a good place, but long story short, the relationship didn't work out. And then I had a close friend. Well, he wasn't even a close friend. He was just a friend in the friend group. And he was like the least close person I was. And actually, I just knew he went to church. And so I texted him right after, directly. I kid you not, 2 minutes after. Hey, can you help me find Christ? Dead serious. That's what I said. And he said, yeah, come to our vacation Bible school this week. We had it for adults too during the week. And I was in college, so I didn't have a job in the summer. I was so I went on a Wednesday, and this was crazy. So it was the Apostle Paul story of him converting. And I lived a very secular life, not very good at times. And I really resonated with it because he persecuted Christians and he was the chief sinner And hearing that, and basically the lesson the preacher was talking about was getting on the highway to heaven. And Paul got on the highway to heaven once he was redeemed. And I remember I felt like the preacher was talking to me directly that day. And after we were in the parking lot, and I was like, bro, you're telling me like there's a chance that I can be better. And he told me, yeah, there is. And I said, I never knew that you could be this bad and still have a chance at being redeemed. And ever since then, that day, I never looked back. I went to church 3 days a week after that. I went to the whole vacation Bible class the rest of the week. Like, was it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? I went on Sunday twice, went on Wednesday, and that was it. And didn't even blink an eye. Like, it wasn't even like a phase. Like, it was just like, it just made sense. I had been living a certain way. Like, I knew I didn't want to participate in the things of the world already as it was. I wasn't for that. So it just was an easy transition. It wasn't like I had to give up a lot of things in the physical world of turning to Christ. So it was, I would say it was an easy transition at first. Obviously, then there's the growth where you learn that there's a lot more you have to do. But I would say that's how I turned to Christ. And I would say 3 to 4 months later, so if it was July, I was full-time going. I got baptized in, had to be November, and got baptized, and that was it. Gave my life to Christ, and I haven't looked back. It was just what I was supposed to do and what I'm doing today, and very blessed that that friend was there in my life to take me on this journey with me.
That's awesome, man. What's your friend's name?
His name is Colton Bird.
Shout out to Colton Bird, man. Hey, the Lord's work, brah. Nice. So what was it? What was it like to finding Christ and going back to your like day to day? Like, was it like a complete 180 for you at the time, or was it a slow growing in the faith? Like, how was that for you? Like, what was your parents' reaction to it? Like,
Oh,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, I want to know
Oh,
all
yeah.
that stuff.
Man, it's a little bit of both. It was quick and it was slow growing. Slow growing on some maturing in the faith. That's always a part of it. But the not going to parties, that was easy for me. Not drinking, that's easy for me. Not doing any of those types of things was easy. Also, when I had this guy that he has a big family, so they basically took me into his family. I felt like I was one of their own.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was like, I pretty much could have been shared the last name with them. It was I went to birthdays, we went to lunch every Sunday after. They just took me in. They taught me the Bible. They started a Bible class for me, just for me. And we would go up every Monday night, watch football, and then study the Bible together, a couple men. And it grew and grew and grew. And so I had such a huge support system. I'm talking like his family was probably like 20 people. And just had such a loving support system. So my family told us to go to church. And they were kind of concerned at first because I went to this Bible. It's like a summer Bible retreat. It was up in Dublin. And she was worried. She was like, she thought I was gonna like get converted or brainwashed, something like that. She didn't know, and so it was a little shocking, and they didn't understand because I wasn't the nicest at home to family. I was a jerk. I was ungrateful. Didn't understand that my parents even did a lot of things for me, good things to me, and I just wasn't appreciative. So it was a hard transition for everyone. I wasn't nice to my sisters for a long time, and they didn't know how to react when I was being nice. They were mean to me for about 2 years still, even after I was in Christ, just because they didn't trust that I was truly changed. They said I was just being fake. And I said, no, I'm not. This is me. And so that was a hard transition for them understanding who I am. It was for the better, though, because whether they go to church or not right now, I still can lead by example for them in all different ways, the way I treat them and the way I react. It was slow growing and maturing because I didn't realize how many things from the world were so ingrained in me. Like the glorifying your own name, seeking your own self-glory, like that one took a long time because I have a big ego, and it's something I'm always working on, being humble and learning to be lowly and meek so I can raise others up above me. I didn't understand that for a long time. So that was one of the ones I didn't realize. It was just kind of blind eye, like the little speck in my eye. It was just right there, and you're chugging along, think you're getting better and getting better, and so just genuinely, that was probably a hard one to do, and That one's always a work in progress. But I would say a lot of the things that are like the don't do this, don't do that, that's fairly easy. It's the ones like being meek, not having pride.
Kind of like the like the sins that you can't, that aren't so
Yeah.
obvious
Yeah.
to the outside, right? So like stuff you have to deal with in the inside and stuff. That's cool that you're being transparent about that, man. Yeah, I think a lot of people, I mean, it's our culture. If you think about it, our culture is like you got to raise yourself up,
Hmm.
right? Like, hey, make a name for yourself. Hey, don't depend on nobody else, you
Hmm.
know, like hey, pull up your pull up your boots and get to work and get
Hmm.
it going and don't let nobody talk negative about you.
Hmm.
You know, like that's our
Yeah.
culture. So it's just a natural thing that we have, or we can fall into ego real fast.
It's
You know what
so
I mean?
easy.
Yeah, I can relate to that sometimes. Um, but that's cool, man. Thanks for being transparent about that. Um, what are some verses that kind of, or like, what were some things that pop out to you in the Bible that kind of help you with your day to day or stuff like that? Or what's your favorite Bible book?
So I've always thought myself even before coming to Christ as a realist. So I've always gravitated towards Ecclesiastes just because it's so on to the point. We're striving after the wind. Striving after the wind could be so many things. Striving after the wind for money. Okay. What is left when we're gone? Do we take the money with us? No, we don't. What about status? No, we don't. So striving after the wind is just chasing air. We're never going to catch it. It's never going to be enough. And it's better to have one hand of rest and one hand of work. One hand of rest, maybe hang out with my family, friends, church, work. Work hard though. Yeah, provide for the family, give. And so Ecclesiastes, the whole book is just, that's the one I've always gravitated towards just because it's so resonated with me. I'm someone who works hard at everything I do. And that's a good thing, yeah, but there's a time that you need to be present for others and um, put your things aside for them.
That's cool, man. That's awesome. And so you're going through this journey. When is it that you start doing this media stuff?
Man, I've been doing media since I've been 14 years old. I've been doing it for a long, long time. Got my first GoPro when I was 14. It was a GoPro Silver Hero 4. A girl I saw at school, she was making cool videos of the football games. And I said, okay, well, I want to do this. Mom, Dad, can you get me a camera? That's what I got. So I was making videos for the high school. I was getting featured in the newspaper. Local Clovis High kid makes cool videos of the football game. And then I would get the crowd, I would get the football players, I would get everyone involved. I would even get the band kids involved in. At that time, at least for me, I thought that was cool that I felt like I was involved in someone who doesn't get as much recognition. And so I started getting paid in high school to do media and AV for the high school. I was working making Hall of Fame documentaries at 17 years old, 18 years old. Um, I was taking photography, and that's really how I got started. And I mean, after that, I was always into video. I always said photography sucks. And I'm getting to a point here where after high school, I graduated. The only work I was getting was photography work. I was still getting video work, but photography is what I was getting. So then that's what I started going towards. I forgot video for a while. So that's how I got started. 2020 is what really propelled me into doing everything. I started traveling. I had a close friend at the time. I had a lot of aspirations to do big things, and she said, "Why aren't you doing it?" And that's all I needed to hear to go after. And so we started traveling, doing adventure photography, getting paid for it. Photography, keyword. So I wasn't even in video anymore. I was doing only photos. And I started hiking mountains, doing sunrise hikes at waking up at 2 a.m. That means you have to leave the house like at 12. So it's kind of crazy. And then all of that, that's really how I got started. And then video came back into play when social media was really what's the word, prioritizing it. And I had no problem with that because I loved videos, like going back to my old days. So I'll say that's how I got started.
So, but when did it start going to where like it's your business, like you're
um
like full on? This is full time what you're doing,
yeah,
or is
so
it 14?
yeah, no, I mean, I've always been making money from it. It's just, I would say 2021, 2022, I started taking it more seriously. I mean, again, I'm like, that's not even that long ago. I'm 22. What do I know at 22 mentally about business? I knew nothing. I thought I did, but I didn't. And I just put myself out there. I was making photos for brands. I was making videos for brands. I just reach out to them. People say, "How do you get in contact with them?" I literally just ask them, "Do you want to work with me? I can do this for you." And it was simple as that. I don't know. I've always saw something, and then I went and did it. I never thought about the steps in between, and sometimes that's good and sometimes it's bad. So I would say 2021, 2022, and then more into video production. I got into that in 2023. I started really and heavily into like actual corporate work, commercial work, brand videos, everything in between. And that was when I really got heavily in that. And when I go into something, I research it like crazy. I learn from anybody and everybody. I take classes, courses, mentors, coffee meetings, anything I can learn. I go to the extreme because I don't think it's worth doing it unless I'm going to be all invested in and being good at it. So that's what I went that way. And then now to 2024, my main focus is video production and commercials and corporate work. And that's what I do.
That's cool, man. And does it tie at all into like your mission, your ministry work, like in the church? Like, do you do stuff for the church?
Yeah. So for the church, there is a need for a video to be done. So we're working on a script there to have I would say it's a welcome video. So if you visit the website, they'll like see those real humans at the church and kind of like
Right.
that. But in terms of my own work, I mean, when I serve someone, when you're in business, it's really providing service for someone else. How can you help elevate them? Not how can I make money? And so in the Bible, we're not to be doing anything for ourselves. We're to be doing it for them, doing God's work, serving others. And I try to keep that in the forefront. And what's funny enough, when you get so focused on making money, the people you're trying to get to work with you or people you're working with, they can tell. And then it doesn't pan out for the prospects that are you trying to get to work with you. Like, this guy just didn't make a couple bucks off me. So what Christ has a point is more than just serving. It's serving others is just, if you're not here to help others, what are we doing? Is really the question. That's really the question. If I'm here just to help myself and glorify myself, I'm not doing a service to anybody. So I try to take that with me in everything I do, whether that's mentoring other filmmakers who are just starting out, other photographers, other people who are trying to get in the gym, trying to start a business, friends trying to learn marketing. I will sit there with them in the coffee shop for 3 hours, teach them how to do marketing, and just get in the weeds. I mean, because when you're helping someone else in their business, so let's say they're a plumber, right? I'm in video. So if I'm a filmmaker, video producer, and I help this plumber out, and that plumber saves your toilet, but you didn't know about this guy until I made this video. Okay? So technically, I'm helping him impact people's day-to-day lives. That's a big deal. People don't think about it like that. Nobody thinks about it like that. If I help the healthcare profession, they save a lot of lives, whether it's education, saving their lives literally, and they can use my video services to help them do that. I'm helping world impactors change the world. And so that's huge. And if I can do that and keep that focus on that's a service I'm doing, that's awesome.
That's cool, man. Yeah, and then you're doing this challenge right now, like 100-day challenge where you're posting every day and all
Yeah.
that stuff. What you said you've done it before. I
Yeah.
know we had a conversation off camera, but you said you've done it before.
Yeah.
What inspires you to do something like that? What's the goal for it? Is it just to prove to yourself you can do it? Like
Yeah.
what's the reasoning behind that?
I mean, I've done it before, so I know I can do it. It's more of, okay, I have a lot to offer to the world. I have a lot to offer. In order to do this, I have to be able to be consistent with my social media to build my brand. In order to build my brand, I have to be consistent posting every day. You don't have to post every day, but it does give you more reps in front of the people. So it's a little bit of, I want to build my brand, so I need to do these things to get there. It's a matter of, you need to do X to get to Z. You need to do A to get to Z. So that's what I'm doing it as. And I mean, I love challenges, and being disciplined is something I really value. I value it so much. So for me, posting 100 days in a row is something I know that I can stick to. And for example, last night, Saturday night, I got home late, and it was like 9 o'clock. I could have easily just went to bed and not posted a video Saturday night. But I sat there on my computer. My eyes were like half awake, half closed.
Right.
And I got the video done because I made this commitment to myself. And when you do things like that, you're saying, I'm going to do this, and you let yourself down. And I just don't want to do that. I've publicly made other like, proclamations, like I was 100 sunrises in 2022 to the world. And if I don't do it, that shows that I don't keep my word. And I want to keep my word. I mean, if you don't keep it's in the Bible in so many areas where when you make a promise to people, you got to follow through on that promise.
Right. Right. And then so I know we were talking about too your hiking journeys and like you're an outdoorsman and all that stuff. I'm interested too in that. Like why do you like the outdoors? I personally am a guy, I don't like the outdoors. I hate it. I just don't like it. But that's where we all have different gifts and we all have different interests and stuff. So for you, like what is it for you? Try to put me in the perspective or try to sell me right now why I need to be in the outdoors. If you had to do that.
Okay, imagine this. It's sunrise. You're sitting on a mountain.
All right, hold on. Let me put myself into okay, it's sunrise.
You're sitting on top of a mountain.
Sitting on top of a mountain.
There's hot coffee. There's some waffles possibly being made.
Oh, waffles outdoors?
Outdoors waffles.
Okay.
Coffee. You're sitting in a chair with your best friend in the world. And
my wife.
Yes, absolutely. And you're sharing a moment out there, watching the sun come over the mountains, and the winds bristle in the airs, and there's just nothing more serene in that moment because you can be fully present without anything else to bother you, and all the worries in the world are gone at that moment. And you can see God's creation. You can see everything just lighting up. The world was asleep before that sun came up, and now it's awake, and you get to see life happen, pass by you right in front of your eyes. That's why I love it.
I'm trying to picture it in my head. I still don't know if I'd do it, but that was pretty good. You know, maybe taking out my wife. I don't even like to go hiking.
You don't have to hike.
I have to hike to get to the outdoors, right?
No, you can. You if you have a car that can get you there, you can drive to a cool overlook or a cool off-road spot by a cliff and pop up a tent, or not a tent, just a table, some coffee mugs, a little coffee percolator. Heat up your coffee.
You make your own coffee out there?
Oh yeah, my
own coffee.
What
like okay, are your parents outdoors people?
No.
Like so why do you gravitate towards the outdoors?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I didn't go outdoors till I was in 2020. Everything changed for me in 2020.
Was it COVID?
Yeah.
So what was it that changed for you?
My best friend, he said, "Well, we have nothing else to do. Let's go hiking." So him and his dad took me hiking all the time. And mind you, I'm scared of my shadow. Okay, so I was terrified to go hiking. Absolutely spooked going up this little mountain. It was not even that scary. Like you could do it if you saw it, but I was so scared to walk down this little hill. And so I didn't like that I was scared of it. So I challenged myself to overcome those fears. And that went alongside with my photography at the time. So it was it was a way for me to explore, get over my fears, become more independent, and make a career for myself all at the same time, doing what I love, doing photography, doing the outdoors. I mean, I've seen all the western half of the United States, traveled, lived in my car, nomad life I've done. So
you went from not liking the outdoors, scared of your own shadow, to traveling half of America.
Yeah. And staying in sub-zero and 0 degree weather and snow.
But like, what's that switch? Is it just COVID? Is it just like, hey, we're bored, so let's go?
No, I mean, my best friend, the girl I was with at the time, I told her all these aspirations.
That explains everything. That explains everything. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Oh man, we're clipping right now. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I'll try to cut the clips, but okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But okay, so but that pushed you to wanting to that relationship is what showed you things that you probably would have never done without being in it, right?
Yeah, I had aspirations. She said, "Why don't you do it?"
Yeah,
That's all you need. That's all I needed to hear,
right,
and that lit a fire in me that hasn't
right.
been put out.
No, I mean I resonate with that in that me growing up, I was just gonna be a cop. That was my goal. I was gonna be a cop, and that's it. So I had a 1.9 GPA. Didn't need good grades because I'm gonna be a cop.
Yeah.
I don't need good grades. I gotta just wait till I'm 21. And then I meet this guy, right? This guy, he's a marketer. He's in marketing and stuff. And we're talking and all that stuff. His name's Jason. Um, he would always get a double espresso blonde. I used to work at Starbucks. So I would always make it for him every morning. But we had a conversation one day, and he's talking to me about business and stuff. And to me, for some reason, I've never heard of this ever in my life. Business talk. Never heard of it ever in my life. And I'm talking to this guy, and he's telling me about all this stuff and how much he makes. And I was like, when he told me how much he made, I was like, you can make that much money? It never crossed my mind. Now, this seed that was planted might have been good and bad because I did struggle with, I had this identity crisis of I didn't make enough money. But at the time, it sparked a fire in me to be like, oh, there's so many different ways. This is before I truly fell in love with Christ too. So I was in love with money. But I was like, oh man, there's so many different ways to make money. I don't got to just be a cop. I don't just got to go to school. I could do my own business. And so that took me down a rabbit hole of trying to do. I've done so many business. I've tried so many different things. I've failed in so many different things. And so that's interesting. And I resonate to the part where just like a simple conversation could spark something in you, an interest that you start going down, and it just starts becoming like who you are.
What's the biggest thing you've learned from all those failures?
Biggest thing I've learned from all these failures, if I don't have Christ as my reasoning for doing what I'm doing, then I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fail 100% because I get consumed with I can fall easily into the traps of like what I think I am in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my biggest takeaway is if I don't have Christ in the center of why I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm gonna fail. Whether it's failing, not even financially, but failing with my relationship with my wife, with my kids, with my friends, with my family, failing maybe financially, failing spiritually. There's so many different pitfalls you can fall down if you're just chasing the bag. If you're just chasing the bag, you could do anything for money. You could sell your soul for money. So you got to be careful what you're willing to do for that.
Mm-hmm.
And some people take crazy routes just for money. And if you don't have Christ to keep you in line in life, you can really fall easily into those temptations.
Absolutely. Easy.
Yeah. So that's my biggest takeaway from chasing all these things and doing it wasn't it's crazy. I've had all these aspirations on doing things that I've wanted to do, and it wasn't until I on that chair where you're at 2020 beginning of 2020 the end of 2022, I got on my knees. I had a whiteboard that was right there. You see the Mandalorian picture?
Yeah.
I had a whiteboard right there, and I wrote on there. My wife took a picture of it. I literally wrote down, "I'm the biggest loser. Everybody thinks I'm a loser, and I'm gonna prove them all wrong." The problem I had was that it was all about me, 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 me. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. So after doing this since like 2017, literally right after high school, like a year after working at Starbucks, um, falling for this idea of me being the person that is going to provide what I want, right? For doing this for so long, I finally was tired of failing. I was tired of having fights with my wife because she would be like, "Why are you unhappy? Why are you like, why are you acting the way you are?" And at the time, I was blessed. I just had my second child and all that stuff. Um, and so after failing so many different things, dude, I've done a bunch of different things. Like I've tried so many different things. Um, and it's crazy. I give my life fully to Christ, where I get down on that chair and I pray to God and say, I am done doing what I think I need to do. It's time for me to just give my life to you. And even if that means staying where I'm at for the rest of my life, I will be happy. But I don't want to rely on myself anymore. I want to just trust you, God, wherever you take me in life. I prayed that prayer. 4 months later, a job comes up. Literally, it's crazy. 4 months later, and I started this podcast. Once I made that commitment, I started doing the podcast. I was like, you know what? If I have these skills, I'm going to apply them to some form of ministry. What, even if it's just talking to people, hearing their side of this, hearing their journey with Christ and stuff. And so 4 months later, man, after I prayed that prayer, I got a new job that everything that I wanted in the sense of being having a flexible schedule, making more money than I was making, like everything that I've ever wanted was given to me. It's crazy. And what happened is, so I got everything I ever wanted, made more money than I've ever made in that time. And when you're riding, or what I feel like I'm riding, I'm feeling good and all that stuff. What start happening? You know what start happening? I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but now I'm feeling like I'm top dog.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm making more money than this person, you know, and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm it. Well, what happens is something that's beyond my control, where the job I was at, the job was no longer there. And so all that money that and all this stuff whoop, went straight down. And what I took from that was, Kevin, as fast as I can bless you is as fast as I can take it away. You know? And so that was a lesson that I felt like I needed. And I think God continues to humble us when we start, as children of His, start acting boastful in the sense of, now it's like I'm forgetting where the source of the blessings come from, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was a huge rant.
No. All things come from God, Kevin.
All things come from God, man. And it's a journey. It's for sure a journey. And we're learning every day.
Yeah.
But that's my biggest takeaway from failing and doing businesses I
think everybody can learn from that. I mean, it says in the Bible, it's harder to get into heaven when you have a lot of money and you have a lot of possessions, a lot of riches.
Right.
Because you're living this other life that you have all this stuff, and it's easier to be someone who's poor to get into heaven, because when you're poor, what do we have but God?
Right.
That's the only thing that we can think about. God, help me get off the streets. God, help me have more money. God, help me with my family. When you have all this money, you're like, okay, I'm comfortable. Like, I'm feeling pretty good. I have this nice car, this nice house. I got food in this really bougie food. I got a hairstylist. Why do I need to be so focused on God when I have all this stuff? And so that's a huge thing in remembering to be meek and give.
100%. That's why when you said that earlier, I resonate with that.
Mm-hmm.
I resonate with it because it's something I've had it's so easy to fall into.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. What about you? What are some businesses that you've done, or is media the first in business you've done and you've been pretty successful at it?
I mean, success is relative. I don't see success as money.
Well, success in the sense of you're able to provide what your needs and stuff.
I mean, it's always been hard for me because I'm 24. I keep learning that I'm not as old and I don't know as much as I know. I thought I was so smart at 21. And maybe I was, but still, I didn't have the humility as someone who's 45. I didn't have the humility I didn't have the life lessons. Or so I think for me, putting my needs first before the clients, just being focused on making money, um, not actually trying to serve them and be look in the interest of them. So that can lead to jobs not being repeat. That can be like, okay, I don't want to work with this guy again because he was so focused on what he wanted to do in the project versus what we would be beneficial for the business. There's something that's more important there. Now, learning from that mistake, every partnership, every client I talk to, I only focus on the outcomes, their outcomes, and what's going to be beneficial to their business. How can I help you reach your ultimate goal? How can I help you get there? How can I help you change the world? And I would say, really, I was just so focused on building my own name and building my own portfolio. I didn't care how I did it. It was just like, okay, next job, give me the money, and then I'll do the services real quick. And also knowing that you're not as good as you think you are. I thought I was so much better than I thought I was at video and photography. And every year I realized I was just so not humble. And one, it just takes time to humility. Like, I just thought I was so much older and so much wiser than I was. And obviously, my parents told me, but like no one else told me, and I had no idea. They're like, bro, like, what do you know? Like they always say this thing like you can't even get told for yourself. Like, when you're young, like you can't even get told for yourself, bro. Like, what do you think you know?
Yeah.
And so it's just remembering now to be humble and have humility, because even this guy, let's say I'm a business owner, right? So let's say a guy who's 55 years old, 9 to 5 his whole life. Maybe he doesn't have the skills that I have. Maybe he's not as smart as me. And I'm playing this story out for you here. But I bet you 100% he still has a lot that he can teach me, more than I could ever know. I'm only 24. He has so much life experience that I would have to live through it to understand. So I don't disregard people anymore when they're not a business owner, or like I was always afraid of being the 9 to 5, right? And I've realized they know so much more than me too, and I can learn so much from them. I need to be humble because they've been through a lot of hardships too, just like me. It's just mine are just different. And so it's all the same. They had to go through the same struggles. They've had to raise a family, had to have family disputes. They lost family, just like me. Yeah, anyways, we're on the same level anyways. It doesn't matter, money, status. So who am I to say that they don't know as much as me? And so just really learning to be humble and just knowing that I don't know anything about anything, and just putting myself in that situation and being ultra curious about other people now.
That's cool. And so what got you to, I know, okay, so you're doing like ministry work in your church and stuff, right?
Mhm.
What compelled you to start doing that? Like was it just wanting to do something for Christ? Like
Yeah.
what was that?
I mean, in my church, we're a little old fashioned. The men, I mean, I agree with this, but I mean, the men step up and they do the work. The men need to stand up and take on as much duty as they can, like stand up tall, and carry the weight, lead, take responsibility. It was just something in our congregation, in our church, that the young men at a young age, that's what you need to be doing. You need to be helping out the old ladies, cutting their lawn. You need to be helping the old ladies move. Even at 16 years old, that's what you need to be doing. It's not an option. Although I don't have parents in the church, like I mentioned earlier, the family that brought me in, they were a form of a parent to me. And they're like, come on, let's go. Let's do it. This is what we do. We serve others. It's not about you. You're young, you're strong. Like, let's help out
That's
the
cool.
old. Let's help out the
That's
widows.
that's cool.
And at a young age, you don't understand. I mean, at least I didn't. I think their kids did what it meant to lead and help others. But now, I mean, I take pride in helping others and leading and spreading the word and taking on that leadership head on. Because I mean, a lot of men, they don't take it on, and it's really important that we do.
Yeah, well that speaks to our generation. Or the younger people, the younger kids can, not all, but can become more
Yeah.
and more like dependent on like just what mom and dad are doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like they call us like spoiled and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I wasn't taught to be a man. My church taught me. The man in the church, the older men, all of them, even not even them telling me, just the way they act. I literally did not know what it meant to be a man till I was
Wow.
around the people in the church. So it's been a huge transformation of things. Like I see like the 14-year-olds, they're better men than me. And so learning what it is being a man has been a huge.
What is it to be a man?
Oh,
In your eyes?
no, I know it's putting others first and taking ownership, sacrificing. Christ is supposed to love church. We're supposed to love our wives as Christ loved the church. What did Christ do for everyone? He died. He sacrificed himself. He died on the cross. If that's not the greatest sacrifice, greatest act of love, I don't know what is. Just putting others first and realizing it's not all about you, and no one. You just have to be the one to lead, and you have to be the one to take ownership, because you can't put the blame on others. Because when you make a mistake and you blame someone else, that's not being a man. Hey, I messed up, but here's how we're gonna fix it. I'm sorry. Let's get to the goal. Let's get the kids to school. I'll help out. I'll help you mow the lawn in the backyard. Don't you're lifting the heavy thing? Nah, man, I got it for you. I got a hurt back. I'll take care of you. Providing, and just it's not about you. It's not about you.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. Just stepping up, stepping up. People need to hear that. Yeah, for sure. What's your favorite, if you are going to be giving him a message in the church, which you said you did, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is like the subject that you most resonate with? So if there's a subject that you need to talk about,
Yeah.
that you're planning on talking about,
Yeah.
is there one where you tend to gravitate towards?
There's two.
All right, let's see. What are they?
Well, the first one, no matter how far gone you are, you can always come back. You can always come back, and we'll embrace you with open arms, because I sin just like everyone else. Everyone who comes to church are sinners, and that's why we're there. We're asking for forgiveness. And so just making that known, because sometimes it can be a little scary to confess your sins to your fellow brothers. I mean, you think they're going to judge you, but they're there to love on you and help you. And I think showing that love, showing that, brother, I'm struggling with the same thing as you. Let's link arms. Let's march forward together. Iron sharpening iron. And then I think the other one is glorifying God and doing everything in God's name, and not doing it in your own name. And I would think, and that's so easy to do. I mean, like you said, when you're the big dog, you think you're all this, you have all this money and this status. And I think just really honing in on, okay, so I have this job. How did I get this job? The person's employing me. How does that person have the ability to employ me? Maybe he's a manager. Okay, so he's employed by the owner. How is the owner able to employ that manager? He was able to make money and give the funds by other people. Who creates the people? Who creates the money? Who creates all these things? So man creates money. God created us. So money doesn't exist without God. All these houses, these buildings, man creates, we build it, but without man, none of this happens. God is the reason for everything. God has created.
Sorry, just ignore that. Oh my gosh. Go for it. Sorry about that.
God creates everything, and when you realize that, then all these successes that you have done, are they really yours? Did you really do it? Is it really that big of a deal? Like, yeah, I ran a marathon in 30 days, but okay, who gave me the ability? Who gave me the determination? How did I get these gifts of being disciplined, determined? oh, I just was born with them. Okay. Who created us? God did. And it's so silly to think about our successes being so greater than what God has done for us. It's just so silly to think that we did this all on our own.
I'm with you. I'm with you 100%, man. Yeah, we don't give enough credit to God in our day to day for
Mhm.
sure, right? Like even the breath that we have
Yeah.
when we wake up, even the small things we take for granted.
Yeah.
Looking at other countries that don't have or would kill to be where we're at,
Mhm.
literally. Um, we take a lot of stuff for granted, for sure, 100%. And keeping that in the forefront of our mind of who provides for us, who gives us breath in our lungs, who lets us wake up every day. It's God. So that's great, man. That's cool, man. Two messages, and you've been doing that for like how long now?
I would say the last 4 years.
And who encouraged you to do it? There had to have been somebody like, hey, you should.
The same family. I mean,
Oh, the same family.
it
Oh,
was
wow, that's cool.
just a rite of passage that the young men have to go up and participate in the church. It's
Oh,
just
wow,
what you do.
really?
They said, okay, you got
If I
back.
were to go there, would they have to? Would I have to do something like that?
No,
I wouldn't
no.
be a young man anymore, right?
No, members that are there,
Oh, okay.
right? So I'm
Would I
not.
be a young man? I'm still a
Yeah,
young
you're
man.
young. Yeah. You're a young
I'm not
guy
30
still.
yet.
No, you're not 30.
Yeah.
Even 30 is young these days, man. I mean, I don't
30's
know.
young.
Yeah.
40s are young.
Yeah, 40s. Yeah, you're right. You don't realize it till you get there.
I'm gonna say it till I die. I'm young.
I believe
Because
it.
guess what? You
Uh,
wanna know something?
hmm.
I got eternity to live
Yeah,
in heaven.
absolutely.
So I'm young right now. I'm a little baby.
Yeah,
I'm a little sperm cell right now.
you're a babe. Yeah,
Not till I get to heaven.
yeah,
That right there is the final destination.
yeah. We're just passing through, man.
Come on, baby. So I'm
Yeah.
young. Even till I die, I'm young.
Yeah,
Because I got eternity to live.
yeah.
Come on, I'm about to preach
No, I
right now,
know.
bro.
No, I know. It's so exciting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know. It gets me stoked.
Cool, man. Okay, let's see. What else? What else can we talk about? You talked about your journey in nature. Oh, what other businesses have you done any other businesses besides your media business, or was your media business the only one you've done so far?
I suppose photography, video.
Oh, photography. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
That's right. And you were traveling, and you were doing all these like you've been almost everywhere.
yeah.
How was that like having to travel for work?
I chose it. I wanted to, so I chose the life. It was great. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to see the world as in the U.S., I suppose, but still a lot.
See the U.S.
See the U.S. And I had never traveled before, really. I mean, besides soccer. So
Wait, you're a soccer player?
yeah.
You're pretty good at it?
I was okay. If I put more effort in, it could have been better. Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah. No, I mean, so only soccer tournaments, so that was hotel stays, and that's it. So I'd never been in the outdoors till I was 2020. So it was just such a mission to see every spot I could see. And okay, how can I make money to do it? And really, that was just one of the ways that I was trying to fund my travels. Can I fund my travels by making money taking photos of outdoor equipment? Yeah, I did. And that was awesome. I've learned so much talking to other people, meeting people from all walks of life. You just learn so much, whether it's the 70-year-old grandma hiking on the same trail as me or the 30-year-old used to be school teacher, now in a van teaching English to people overseas remotely. And she's living in a van, and we're sitting right here taking a break in Bryce Canyon, Utah, talking. I decided to take a break because I was carrying too much camera gear. So my bag was heavy, and she was just sitting there. And this other gal was there too. She was from Portland. She was from Portland. And she was just traveling by herself too. And it was just, you never know who you're going to meet and hear all their life stories. It was bigger than just doing the photography. I mean, I loved meeting these people who were so, what's the word? Courageous to go out on their own and live out in the wild for a bit. It was very inspiring.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I would that my wife would love to do that. I don't really care to travel. I'm a really homey kind of guy.
Yeah.
I like just staying here.
You like your routine?
I like my routine.
Yeah.
I like the small city.
Yeah.
I like to make the argument that Kermit is the best city in California.
It is. Why?
You like to hear the argument?
No. It is. Why?
I've heard-
No. Because I'll tell you. Everyone who lives in a small town will tell you their town is the best town. But why do you think it is?
Well, what do you think it is? I mean, you've only been.
Well,
here.
it is to you. So yeah, it is.
No, but for you, do you think? I want to convince you.
I mean, I like where I live. So I mean,
I hate where you live.
no, but it's because you're agreeing with the community here. Probably you probably know everyone. You probably know the grocery store clerk. You probably know the police officers.
Listen to me, okay? I'm gonna break it down to you real quick. Why I believe we're going a little bit off topic,
Yeah.
but why I believe Kerman is the best city in California. 3 points. 1, it's a small city. Not many places to go and spend your money. So there's less temptation to go out and waste money on things that mean nothing. Let's go get crumble. Nah, let's just go to Subway and get 3 cookies for $1.50. Makes more sense than crumble. A cookie for $4? No.
And you gotta get the ice cream too when you go.
You see what I'm saying? You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? There's so much temptation out there,
Yeah.
right? And people like to make the kid, oh, it's the experience. Oh. Hey, for me, I'm trying to save my money.
Yeah.
So that's 1. That's not necessarily Kerman. That's just more economic reasoning, where there's just less temptation to be spending your money. Makes sense. Number 2, community-based. Oh, how I love how I could go to Walmart and, hey, somebody I haven't seen since high school, I could run into them, have a quick chat. Man, you know what? That was real nice. It was real nice just to see somebody in passing. I grew up with that person. So it's just nice to catch up, even if it's just for a little bit. It's just like a nice feeling you get.
I agree.
Feel me?
I agree.
You with me?
Yeah.
Number 3, it's a growing little town. Although it's little, it's growing. You ever heard of a Walmart gas station?
Walmart gas station.
Well, guess what? You passed by it before you got in here.
What?
The first one in the nation. The first one in the nation. Walmart gas station. Make sure you go ahead and check it out before you take out of here. All right? You're taking Whitesbridge, 180?
Yeah.
It's on your right.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Take a picture of it. Put it on your Instagram.
That's crazy, bro.
People are going to be like, where is that? Kerman, California. And make sure you put in notes right there. Best city in California.
That makes sense.
Also, too, it's safe. So because I'm a parent, I got 3 kids, relatively quiet, not a lot of stuff going on. I personally like that just because my priorities are just I like a quiet place where I know my kids are going to be safe. And so that's why I like it too. Community based, safe. Not a lot of money, not a lot of places to spend your money.
Yeah.
Come on. Did I convince you?
Yeah. I love small towns.
So will you say Kerman is the best city in California?
I'll say it's one of the best.
Can you say it's the best one in the valley?
No. I'll say that it's probably tied for first.
Really?
With a lot of other small towns.
What's your favorite? What's your first?
Clovis.
Uh,
Visalia.
I hate Clovis.
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
No. You all things you said is how I feel about Clovis. So
Clovis is better than Fresno for sure.
I agree.
Oh, a lot better than Fresno.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. I agree. No.
It's more Christ centered. I feel like too.
Yeah.
Clovis is a lot more Christ centered.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
More like during what was it? What was going on? COVID, or not COVID? I forgot what was going on. But Clovis was like, no, I think it was COVID. I don't even think that's Christ centered. But they were like, we ain't shutting down our stores.
Yeah.
Right?
My church didn't.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that about it. It's a lot more conservative.
Yeah.
Conservative values.
Yeah.
Which as Christians we tend to lean towards more.
Yeah.
So no, I like Clovis. I'm just kidding. I like Clovis.
Yeah. No, I do too. I've been to Kerman here though. I mean, Kerman seems cool, quiet.
You've only been bad. I got to take you to all the crazy spots, bro.
Brother, I've been to Kerman on the farmlands. My friend lived on the farm, a dairy farm out here.
Oh,
His
okay.
dad was I don't know if he was a foreman or something, but they had a house for him out on the farm, and his backyard was the dairy.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on. Can you get that in Clovis?
Not anymore. It's growing. It's the all the country land's gone almost, and then
Yeah.
the country land that is there, they just own it all. The like one person.
Right.
So no, you're right. Huh.
So Kermit's better than Clovis.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, I'm not married to any one city, so.
Is that biblical? I'm just kidding.
I mean, hey, I might move to Tennessee, and I might say Franklin, Tennessee is the best city
Oh,
in the
whoa, whoa,
world.
whoa. Why Franklin, Tennessee?
Anywhere, I mean Tennessee, just because a lot of more shared values.
So you like Tennessee?
Yeah, I've never been, but I've had a lot of friends from my church move over there, and they talk a lot of good things about it.
If I were to move to any other state, as of right now, it might be Texas or South Carolina.
Texas, South Carolina. Nobody ever said South Carolina.
I like South Carolina. Me and my wife went 3 years back. Some family shout out Sandra. Really nice, really beautiful, green, also
Yeah,
more conservative,
Yeah.
which is great. Beautiful cities from at least the ones I've visited. So that's where I'd go.
that's out on the East Coast.
Come on.
Yeah. No, I mean, have you seen the Outer Banks? Well, it makes me think of the beach coastline in South Carolina. I would love to see a East Coast sunrise. That would be cool.
Oh, you haven't checked out a South Carolina sunrise?
No,
You're missing out.
that would be cool.
You're missing
I'm
out.
up for that. Texas, Austin,
Nah,
Small-
I don't know.
small
honestly.
town.
I'd probably pick a small town.
Yeah, I would go to Austin just for its athletic endeavors. A lot of athletes are there, doing marathons and triathlons. So
Yeah. See, I'm not.
yeah,
into any of that.
yeah. See, yeah,
I like doing this is completely off a tangent, but I like doing stuff like if I had more time or had more money, I would do like martial arts. 'Cause I
yeah.
was a wrestler.
I wrestle too.
Yeah, so I like I've gone to a couple like Halo Jiu-Jitsu. Have you ever heard of them?
Yeah, I've done jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I've gone there a couple times. What's the other one? Dethroned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone there. Yeah, they're cool. I like doing that kind of stuff. I wish there was something like that here in Kerman. Sucks.
Oh, Kermit's not the best town.
But for raising my kids, it's
Yeah,
good.
no,
but
that's cool.
yeah, but anyways, we're about to hit an hour, bro.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a quick fire round question. All right.
All right.
First question is, what's your favorite color?
Brown.
Whoa, brown.
Yeah.
Why brown?
Used to be green, but I like brown because it's neutral. What is yours? Blue, bro?
Bro, I was like, oh, this guy's gonna go deep, and it's just neutral. Mine's green.
Green. Yeah.
2 reasons. One, it's the color of my wife's eyes. They're green. They're like a green pasture. When I look at my wife's eyes, I fall in love all over again. Number 2, it's the color of money. I'm not in love with money, but I love what money can do.
Yeah.
It's just currency. It's just trading currency,
Mhm.
trading value, and so the opportunities you could give others and stuff with it. Like when I was able to hire, give people some work from the job I had.
Yeah.
I felt great. Helping somebody out who needs some money. Beautiful.
Mhm.
Anyways.
You don't like brown? You don't like brown?
No, I hate brown, actually. I love brown shoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not hating.
No.
I'm not.
I know.
You look good. I just don't like brown as a color, not in clothing. I actually wear a lot of nude colors.
Yeah.
I wear a lot of nude.
Yeah.
I just don't like brown as on the paper color.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No. I know what you're saying, bro.
Like I'm trying to say, I'm not trying. I look down and I'm like, oh shit, you're wearing a bunch of brown. No, I'm not hating.
No, you're good.
I'm not a dressy kind of guy.
Yeah.
All right. I don't dress crazy. You see what I'm wearing? Like it's basic.
Yeah.
You look nice. You look well put together. I'm not gonna hate on what you're wearing.
No, you're good.
You have a good color scheme going on.
Yeah.
I just personally don't like brown.
That's cool. I like green too.
You're like, I'll change it. I like green too.
No, green was my favorite color until I met brown.
Why is it brown? Oh, just because it's neutral?
No.
Is nude brown?
Yeah.
Nude would be brown?
Yeah. I have like nude lighter browns that are like
I guess I would
skin
like brown
color.
in clothing. In the sense of clothing, I
Yeah.
don't mind brown.
Yeah, I don't
Like
know.
I have brown boots. I love my brown boots.
Yeah, I like that. It's just grounded. So
Nice. All right. What's your favorite Bible verse?
it's hard. There's so many. I always go back.
John 3:16.
No. I always go back to when Paul says he's the chief sinner.
Okay.
I
actually have a hat about that.
I just relate to that one so much.
Where is it?
You have a hat for that? No way.
My buddy made a hat.
That's cool.
I'll find it. I'll show it to you after. Cool, man. Okay, if there's one piece of advice you could give your younger self, what would it be?
Not judge anybody and learn from everybody, even if you don't think they can give you value, because they can, and they do have value.
Nice. And then where can people find you?
You can find me on the gram at the Nick Amp, on TikTok at the Nick Amp. I'm on LinkedIn if you want to connect with me and see business topics. I'm on YouTube, Nick Amp. Nick Amp, really everywhere.
Nick Amp, I'll start following you, bruh. Okay, well, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you're still watching this far, please go ahead and click like, subscribe. Give us some feedback in the comments below. Let me know if you like brown. I don't know. I like brown too, but what's your favorite color? I'd love to know that. But thank you for tuning in. God bless. And bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
See you later.